So the next game coming out in 2017 that we're going to preview, at least, is Resident Evil 7. And so this game, oh my.
Taking some interesting deals. First of all, let's say I played many a Resident Evil game.
Yeah.
I played the first one time with you. You've played.
I played
I don't remember
5
the numbers,
and
but
6.
yeah, I played most of them at least once.
Yeah.
None of them all the way through, but I know what to expect.
Right, and 5 I played with Pat all the way and we beat it, and then 6 we played. And here's the thing: is they were horror games, and we're going to talk about that. They were horror games. 4 I think is known in the gaming community, or at least critically, to be the best Resident Evil. It was scary, but it was also an action adventure game, and they really went well. And then 5 came out. And they took away all the scares, and it was just an action game. Yeah. Now, I didn't really...
Because that evolved with the players. Like, the first time you ever saw zombies and zombie dogs, you're scared. But then after the game and other game and more and more zombies, people aren't scared of zombies anymore. They just want to chop them up.
Right. And I actually wasn't... I know a lot of people hate it. I actually liked it. Like, Pat and I had a lot of fun. But that's the problem, is it was just an action game. It wasn't Resident Evil. And we're going to talk... You brought it up
so
off
that
camera.
would make people think that they should be happy with this.
Right.
Because those people really miss the zombies?
Right.
I don't think so. I think that'd be a weird thing to miss. I don't think in this day and age anyone misses zombies.
Right. Oh, yeah, with 1,000. That's its own topic for sure. 1,000 zombies. So 5 I enjoyed, actually. It was a good action adventure game on its own. It just wasn't scary. They could have had any name. It could have been titled anything. Yeah. It was fun. 6, I really actually was very looking forward to 6 when it came out. That was the one, if you remember, that they had the 3 branching people, and they each had their own partner.
I actually watched quite a bit of that.
Yeah, and Pat and I played it. We played only like 5, 6, 7 hours, and we actually stopped. We never even beat it. I don't know. I think it was Leon. Leon, they tried to pull. That was just the horror one. So, and I think that's where they messed up. Is this character, okay, his story, his 10-hour story, is only the horror aspects. Chris, who is in Resident Evil 5, he's just the action.
So they've been trying to kind of
they've been going this way, yeah.
So, right. And so like I said, I don't think people care about zombies that much. I don't think they care about like but the thing is, it like totally deviates from the Resident Evil storylines.
Right.
Like, it's not, even if it could be scary again, it's not like all the characters you're used to.
Yeah.
But that being said, one thing I think we should point out is the style they're going for in Resident Evil 7, the horror style they're going for, hasn't really been done by a big AAA company yet.
Right.
These are games like Outlast that are kind of indie, or
Layers of Fear,
are games that are that we've played, probably on podcast now, like, that have been scary and that have been interesting, but like nothing like this. Like, this is going to be a whole full-length feature, title that's like this. And from what I've seen from the first, from some watching some of the gameplay, it looks. Like so, I mean, what are your?
I think this could work. I think that they tried the action way, and it really has kind of evolved. We've talked a lot about evolving, and that's funny because that's kind of the topic. It has evolved over its time, where Resident Evil 4, like I said, the first 3 were all horror. With, it was getting into the action-y kind of thing. 4 was both, and it worked so well. And then I think they kind of were like, all right, let's just go more action-y. And then 6, they're like, all right, we don't really know what to do. You 20 people, you do the action part, you guys do the horror part. So, like, they did that. And I think 7 now, they're saying, all right, they're stripping things down. In fact, I saw that the director even said when they first went into this, they said, we're stripping stuff down. They got too complex, Resident Evil 5 and 6, which it did, and you just said it. And so we're going to strip it down. There is more than one character, but you only play as one. You're in a house. The entire game is played in one. The entire game is played in one house. Yep. So it's one location.
How long is it?
It's a full game. So I would expect 15, 20 hours.
Really, in that house with those?
Now, with hallucinations and stuff, the house can grow and stuff, right? House can change. It could be layers of fear. Things could happen.
Yeah, I definitely don't feel like they're gonna do. I'm not saying I think they're gonna do 15 hours of you trying to avoid. Yeah. But
And they said there is going to be weapons. There's going to be all the weapons that actually we've seen previously. There is going to be them in this game, but you're not going to use them as much. This is a horror game. It's the first person. They've never had a first person before. You can play the whole thing in PlayStation VR, which we're going to try.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try it and I'll see if
with
it's
an extra pair of pants.
And we'll have videos up of that probably because I'm sure that'll be good reaction content. So it's ambitious and weirdly enough, it's ambitious for stripping down. This game, I think, feels like Gravity Rush 2 has a lot running on it in the fact that, like we said, it's a Vita game, it's a PS4 game now, there's probably added pressure that, okay, this needs to do good on the console.
Well, but this is kind of the same way.
Kind of. It depends.
When they make a big switch like this.
That's true.
This isn't like they decide to make the game like how they think it should be made, and people might not like it. This is them like coming out and saying we're literally changing the game. So if people don't like it,
but do you think
then it's a lose? It's a big lose.
Okay, because I was gonna say, do you think that is how I'm thinking it? Say, because it's so bold, and say now they're going directly back to horror, and it's definitely gonna be different than all the other Resident Evils. Do you think that when it comes out and people play it, if it's not a good game, do you think it's like, all right, well that was our first game, like that? Wait till Resident Evil 8. You know what I mean? Like
well,
this
is
their first
there's
one.
So many games, right? Like so. Resident Evil 1, who played Resident Evil 1 in the heyday? Like,
right.
They might be, excited, but, like, there's people who have played, like, Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 5, and even, 6, like, and they're expecting action, so unless they haven't been watching anything, they pick this up again. But,
right,
like, they might be angry.
Right.
But really, I think the only, like, justifiable angry where you're not just mad that they're changing their game, like, is maybe the loss of characters, like if you're losing the big main characters. But I think it's a good. I think it's a neat move. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna fail or anything. I'm hoping
that's the thing.
Like people just might not want it because there's not many. Horror is still kind of a small.
Yep. It's really
so how it might not appeal to everyone.
And now Capcom has said they expect this game to sell 5 million copies in the first month. They're one of the only companies actually that like broadcast how many copies they want. So they do that a lot.
They Resident Evil 7 instead of
some that
other
too
title.
Is that while I feel like I would maybe give it somewhat of a pass and say, all right, this is their first attempt at this kind of new game, and if they're going to stick to it, and Resident Evil 8 is going to be like 7, and now we're going to start to see this. The only thing is I don't think they're ready for that because they want this, and that's exactly what you said, they want this game to sell very, very well. In fact, they probably want this game to sell better than the past games, and that is probably why they kept it's Resident Evil 7. It's not Resident Evil. We've seen a lot of companies do that where they take away, the number and they just call it.
Which honestly, would have made more sense to me, but
I would have liked to see it just say Resident Evil.
Maybe who knows? The story could be anything. There could be a continuation. They could tie it in.
For sure.
Whatever.
And I think they said it's like 4 years after. It actually is in the world. It's 4 years after 6. So
I think it could be anything, but I think this one's
it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's a saver. It probably brings on just as many people because I wouldn't have been interested in it at all.
Yeah.
If it was Resident Evil 6 with updated graphics, new story, But now I'm at least a little bit interested in it.
Right. Resident Evil has that name.
And it's got the VR crowd, so I think they made the right decision.
Yeah.
But that doesnn't mean that,
it's just how many people did they burn? How many people liked 4 and then hated 5 and 6? That liked the horror. How many? Okay, so you like the horror, and then 4, 5, 6 kind of lost you. Especially 5 and 6 lost you. You gonna come back for this, or people like you said that liked 5 and 6's action? I enjoyed 5's action. I didn't play it for the action, but people who only like action games, you've definitely lost them for the most part.
And you're always gonna lose people game to game.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll talk a little bit more about some obvious games to point out with horror. Dead Space, there's.
Yep.
People on both sides of the action horror side.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one that had the same kind of thing. But don't you think that they kind of faltered with 3? Dead Space 3, I think, was a step back.
They tried too much to please, and they tried different things, and they did the co-op. It was interesting, but hopefully the only way this could massively fail to me is if they tried to make PT. Because if you've ever played PT, which I still have it. I still have it on my
That's awesome.
system.
Yeah.
It's basically them saying like, it's almost like this is what we hope the future to be in 5-10 years of like gaming, because it was a concept that was
could only come from Kojima.
Like, it existed, but it's like, how are you going to make a game out of this?
Yeah.
So unless it's that, I think it's it has a warrant to change. I think it's